Hey everybody, my name is Tribal Instincts, and today I am checking out Conductor in mixed reality. Alright, this doesn't bode well. So Conductor is a creepy puzzler game. As a result, I'm not going to give away too much of it. For any of you that want to play this game, I don't want to spoil it for you. Alright, so let me start out with its strong points. This game is kind of creepy. And it's in a good way. It's not like overbearingly, but there is a general creepy vibe to this entire game. It's just enough to keep the stress levels a little bit high. As simplistic as the art style is, I find that I enjoy this more than most other dramatic lighting effects and everything else. I like the cartoony feel. I don't know if that viewpoint is kind of uncommon, but I really, really like it. I think what really gets me into VR more than anything else is just, you know, being able to do something else that you would not be able to do in real life. So while the realistic stuff is really cool, being inside of a cartoon is even cooler. The sounds definitely help contribute towards that creepy feel. You have like the howling wolves in the background, you have the creaking, you have the rattling, you have the rats squeaking. All that together gave an ambiance of just what is going to be around the corner type feeling. And while it never progressed into full-blown terror, it was like, I think I want to stay in the light. The interaction with the objects was also very satisfying. The train itself, while simplistic, it was satisfying to put the coal in, to light it on fire, and to make the train go. It was nice. The gravity gun was also a nice touch. It could use some refinement. In some cases, it bugged out whenever you had the object moving onto something and it would glitch out with another object, and it wasn't great in some cases, but overall, I did enjoy the added benefit of having, you know, the ability to manipulate gravity. The lighting is really what did this. The general graphics, the sound, those all contributed, but really it was the lighting. The lighting was so fantastic. All of the spotlights, all of the creepy shadows, it was great. Okay, for that element alone, it sold this game and it made it so much more interesting than a lot of the other games that I've played. On top of the creepy feeling of everything else, you also have sort of a story that's sort of building as you go along. You're getting attacked by drones and it looks like you're well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there does seem to be a story to this thing that adds to the general feel of the entire event. All right, now onto the puzzles. This isn't quite a strong positive, and it's also not really a strong negative for me. The puzzles were simple, yet satisfying. If you're a hardcore puzzler, this probably won't scratch that itch of, you know, a really in-depth puzzle, just because most of the puzzles, they were mostly obvious. I mean, it took a little bit of brain power to get through it, but they weren't terribly complicated. So while I say that the puzzles themselves were not a negative, that really is probably the least exciting thing about the game. There's really no other negative that I really had to talk about. This game has interesting graphics, it has good sound, it has fantastic lighting, and a pretty cool storyline that kind of pulls you along and brings it all together. So for those elements alone, even without the actual gameplay element, I think it's a really cool experience. And I wish that the puzzles had been a little bit more complicated, but for me, it wasn't a complete deal breaker. I'm not saying that they were too simple, but it could have maybe been a little bit more complicated. From just a general rating perspective, I'd probably give this game somewhere between a 6.5 and a 7, somewhere around there. Now, if you are not into puzzlers, or if you're really into puzzlers, I'd probably skip it just because it's not for you. However, if those two categories don't apply to you, then this might be interesting to check out. And that is all I have to say on Conductor. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button below. If you didn't like it, hit the downvote button and tell me what I can do to make them better. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe and the bell icon, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.